I'm going to get emotional about this issue because it's horrible. But it's like kids who are bullied, and like all these leaders are taking steps to hurt them and hurt their lives and hurt their families.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki breaking down on a podcast over Florida's parental rights law. Governor DeSantis saying far-left critics, namely Disney, don't even know what the law is all about, as he now pushes for Disney to lose its special privileges in that state. Attorney General for the great state of Florida, Ashley Moody, joins us right now. Ashley, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let's start with, there's been so much rhetoric about your parental rights bill. People who don't like it refer to it as the Don't Say Gay bill. And Jen Psaki seemed very emotional about that. Do you understand where that emotion comes from?
Look, this is Psaki histrionics adding to this fraud on the American public, that this has anything other to do than parental rights and classroom instruction with kids as young as kindergarten. Anyone that wants to talk about this bill with a leader should have to say, how young do you believe we should talk about sexual interests with children? I mean, this has these histrionics, this saying that leaders are harming children. I'm a mother of a young school-age child. I want what's best for our children, as do all leaders in the state of Florida. And again, all of this behavior, this name-calling, this misinformation about this bill is all a part of this radical fraud on the American public.
So yesterday, the governor, Ron DeSantis, said something that he'd said about 10 days earlier, and that is he wants a special session of your legislature to come in to strip Disney of its self-governing status. And this goes back to the 60s when Florida changed the rules so that they could attract Disney to build a gigantic theme park there. Now, because they are squarely in opposition to the parental rights bill, the governor wants to pull the plug on this sweet deal that Disney's had for decades.
Well, I think in Florida, leaders have looked back at when we started requiring that these special taxing districts are for the benefit of the public interest. And we haven't had a review, and it's not just the Disney special taxing district, it's other districts as well. There hasn't been a review to ensure the structure is in compliance or there's transparency as was anticipated. And so this is a review that will be done this week by the legislature, and I know that the governor has insisted and wants that to happen.
Okay, we'll see if there's enough support there in the legislature to do all that. In the meantime, Florida, during the pandemic, because so many people are outside all the time, there weren't a lot of masks. And now, so many people celebrated on Monday after that federal judge in Florida said that the government overstepped their authority and said you don't have to wear the masks anymore. Well, now the DOJ says we will file an appeal if the CDC says so. So who's running the show? Is it Joe Biden, who said, people can decide on their own? Is it the Department of Justice that said we're going to listen to the CDC, or the CDC, which according to Title 42, apparently COVID ends on May 23rd when they derail that program?
Well, that's the big question, right? Who is actually running the show in Washington? It's another win for freedom out of Florida. I was so incredibly proud of this decision by a great judge. This was, as you know, I led the same allegations and charges against this administration that they had no authority to do these mass public transportation mandates. I led 20 other states in the same court, Middle District of Florida. Again, this was the right ruling. It needs to stand. It's almost like Washington can't take a loss, but it was unfounded. There's no legal justification for it, and the court was right to vacate that rule.
All right, Ashley Moody, she's the Attorney General for Florida. Ashley, thank you very much for joining us.